Hello everybody, Mannix here. Got another little knife review for you right here, right now. Feel free to subscribe, hit that little bell notification if you do not want to miss any weekly knife, gear, EDC flashlight, lighter, gun videos. Support me on Patreon, link in the description if you wish to do so. Thank you so much for watching. Let's get right to this blast from the past, as I like to call them. The old model Cold Steel Voyager medium, this one happens to be in the tanto, or tanto, however you say that. Correct me. Tell me in the comments below. What is it, tanto or tanto? How do you say it? And please explain to me why. If you're not familiar, this is the original model Voyager. And it's kind of difficult to say original because this original model went through remodels, just like the new model Voyager that came out back in 2011 also went through some new designs. The model before this one had a pocket clip that was attached to the handle itself, but a little while later, they swapped out to a metal pocket clip that screws onto it that is removable. It also used to have AUS 8A blade steel, but they upgraded to the VG1 blade steel at a certain point. I want to say 2007. So this is the last version of the medium old model Voyager, let's just say. The best version, I would argue. Let's compare it directly to the new model medium Voyager, same blade style as well, both plain edge, both tantos. They stopped making these, I think, somewhere around 2016, the medium-sized Voyagers. But here's a direct comparison of the two. New models are certainly chunkier, thicker, a little bit heavier. They got some aluminum liners in there. Old models do not have liners in them. Old models are pin or rivet construction, however you say that. New models are screw construction, so you can adjust the pivot screw on here. You cannot on the old ones. However, some people argue that the rivets or pins are better than screws because they don't loosen on you, so long as you do not abuse the knife. Satin finish on here, stonewash on the new guy. Lock back on the old model Voyagers, you're looking at right here. Triad lock on the new model. There's no comparison. The Triad is way, way, way stronger than any lock back in existence. Plus, some people don't like how they're too stiff. Some people say it's too difficult to disengage these. I've never had a problem with that. Even as a 13-year-old boy, I did not have an issue disengaging these. But maybe if you have a weaker thumb or an injured thumb or something, yeah, these are a little bit harder to disengage. But they're a hell of a lot stronger because that stop pin right there and a couple other reasons. But aside from that, these are much lighter, much more slim, much more covert, more medium to lighter duty EDC knives, easier to carry. You might as well just throw this on you. Of all the sizes of the old model Voyagers, this is the smallest one, even though it's called the medium. They never made a small size old model Voyager, but this is extremely, extremely light, very EDCable. And even though it's just a lockback, it is fast, no wrist movement needed, but I would give it a little bit of wrist movement anyway. Not a big deal. Thumb studs kind of suck on their, they're cone shaped, so they're a little slippery. Thank God they upgraded to the cylinders on the newer ones, but ironically, the older version of this old model Voyager, sorry to confuse you there, but with the AUS 8A blade steel, they had better thumb studs, but for whatever reason, they downgraded to these later. Don't know why, but it is what it is. You can get used to it, though. Useless jimping right here. Yeah, I mean, it's better than nothing, I guess, but it's not very useful either. I guess it's better than the new one, though. That one's also not very good either. Neither of them are good, but is what it is. Pocket clip's about the same in comparison to the new one as well. Almost the exact same design, pretty much. Not great, not terrible. It's pretty tight. Actually, here's one difference you can see. You notice the difference there? The very, very tip, this one's kind of pointing down a little bit. On the new one, it's more flush. So this one you could say is more secure, but it's going to be harder to get off of your pocket and rip up your pocket a little bit more if you're not careful there. We have sort of a diamond pattern on the scales, which I like. It's pretty grippy. Doesn't have as much traction compared to the iron cross pattern the new ones have, but it's still grippy enough. If you don't want it to be too aggressive, then you're going to want this one a little bit more. Very simple handle shape right here. Very, very, this defines versatility and simplicity as far as its handle shape is concerned. You have sort of a slope right here just to help you get to that thumb stud when you're deploying it, but it matches your fingers pretty well. I have large size male hands, as you can see, so that's about the grip. You know, it's the medium size. It's a full length for all four of my fingers right here, so actually not too bad. It is on the smaller side, though. But again, it's extremely, extremely lightweight and simple. Let's give you the specs. Let's just measure it right here, right now. Why not? 3-inch blade on there. This is pretty crude, but I'm going to say 3.75-inch handle. So if I did my math correctly, we have a 6.75-inch overall length. And let's weigh this guy. I think it's under 2 ounces. That's extremely, extremely light. It feels very light. 1.64 ounces. Are you kidding me? If you like your lightweight knives, you're going to like this guy. It's a shame they stopped making it, but this is damn lightweight. So extremely lightweight, extremely simple. It's fast enough, deployable. Carries okay, not great. It's ambidextrous other than the fact that you cannot swap the pocket clip to the left side. Luckily, they remedied that on the new model. On the old models, they did not, unfortunately. All these old model Voyagers, all of them have a half stop. You can see that little dimple in the tang of the blade right there. Listen closely. That is the lockback notch sliding across the half stop. So it's just it's kind of like a little speed bump. Basically, it just gives you a little bit of time, a little bit of room to adjust what you're doing when you're opening it or possibly even closing it, like so. Instead of having it completely smooth, again, like the new ones, they got rid of that. No half stop on the new ones. Most knives these days do not have half stops, but you can hear a very distinct double click when you deploy these. Oh, it sounds sexy, doesn't it? Click, click, or click, snap, instead of just a thwack. Yeah, if you really like your click, snap noise, you're going to want this one instead of the new one. Blade steel, VG1. It's an upgrade from AUS 8A, I would argue. Its composition is quite different, actually, but it certainly has more carbon content in it. But when you're talking about AUS 10A, which the new model Voyagers have, that's when it gets a little hazy. I would argue maybe the AUS 10A you could say is better than the VG1. It kind of depends on what you're doing with it. But generally speaking, I would say AUS 10A is an upgrade from VG1. But VG1 is an upgrade from AUS 8A. So it's definitely better than what the new model medium Voyager has, because they never made this in an upgraded steel. They only made this in AUS 8. These days, the large and the XL Voyagers, filming this late 2022, have AUS 10A, but they stopped at this model right here with the AUS 8. So if you want the best possible blade steel for any kind of Voyager that has ever been made as of filming this right now, you're going to want this one right here with the VG1. It's going to have to say VG1 on there. If it doesn't, I guarantee you it's got AUS 8A on there. Both good steels, but VG1's a little bit better. So again, it's fast enough. It's smooth enough. It doesn't have great ergonomics or anything, but they're good enough. It's not uncomfortable. It's very versatile. You can hold this in pretty much any position. It won't be uncomfortable, at least. It's a medium-duty, lightweight, simple folder. Tactical? No. It's got some grip on there, and it's really small. I mean, in a pinch it could work, but there's not really enough to hold on to, I don't think. And again, going to the new guy, even though it's a medium, you could still say it's in a pinch it could work into the tactical philosophy of use, if you will, because there's more to hold on to. There's more texturing on here. I don't like this handle that much for this size because my pinky lands on the guard right here, I would call it, so not the most comfortable. But either way, hey, get out of here, new Voyager. I know I slipped this guy on like 10 times. We're not talking about you. We're talking about this guy for this video. So really cool EDC blade, very lightweight, very simple, beautiful, elegant. These are collectible now. As from what I've seen, if these are in pristine condition, maybe you might end up spending like $80 or so, maybe a little less if you hunt around the $80, maybe even $100 or more for a new in-box one. And they're going to go up and up and up in price because they're no longer making these. These are really, really cool, but I specifically like this medium one just because it's so damn lightweight. It's basically 1.5 ounces. So if you really like your lightweight knives, you're going to love this one. It's good enough. It's strong enough for medium lighter duty. So there you go. Fantastic, kind of old-fashioned, old-school EDC blade right there from Cold Steel. Old model Voyager.